Yeah, Chase visited with me a couple days ago, and he's decided to quit football, and so I support him on trying to finish this semester academically the correct way, which he needs to do. And it's unfortunate, but he decided this was not something he wanted to continue to pursue.
So just quit football and he's not necessarily looking to go somewhere else.
My intentions, he said he was done with football. Yeah.
How big of a blow is that to running back?
Well, I don't want to lose anybody because I feel like I'd like an opportunity to be able to mentor every guy that we got on the roster, and when that is cut short for whatever reason, it's frustrating. But our guys that are out here are working extremely hard, and we'll be creative enough to find a way to run the ball.
Malik Cuellar and Walter Brady weren't there during the
Walter is dealing with, he had a birth in his family, and he needed to be there for that. So he communicated, it was yesterday, he ended up leaving yesterday. There's some things with that he needed to be there, and so I expect he'll either be back tonight or tomorrow morning, when that happens. And then Malik Cuellar came in today and decided football was not going to be in his future, and he decided to quit the football team as well.
What level of that do you kind of expect with turnover? Do you expect when you come in with a new regime?
Well, like I said earlier, I'd like to keep every one of them out here, but it's also, this is an unbelievable great place to be. We're going to check classes. We're going to work extremely hard in the weight room, and we're going to get as good as we can get on the football field. And then socially, we're going to do everything we can to be positive in society. And if you do all those things, it's an unbelievable place to be.
Is there any update on Clay? What he's?
Yeah, I talked to him Sunday night. Still working through some things. Yeah, with Clay.
I apologize, I wasn't here last week. What is?
He's dealing with some family
right
issues. Yeah. I guess I should say personal family issues. So.
At this point, I think there's 8 healthy offensive linemen. If that number kind of stays forward, I mean, what do you have to change for the spring game?
Well, starting practice 8. Yeah, starting practice 8, you're going to be suited out playing left guard. I don't know what kind of shape you're in, but I know this at offensive staff is you haven't heard one word from them on wanting to change anything. And they're working their tails off, are the guys that are out there working, and I'm proud of them because they hadn't said one word. They've rolled up their sleeves and said, "Let's go get after it and get as good as we can get." And that's pretty awesome.
What did you guys get out of the scrimmage Saturday, or just kind of how did you come out of that?
That I'm glad we're not playing this Saturday. It looked about like it was practice 6 of a spring. There were some things offensively running the ball that were exciting to see. I think all 3 quarterbacks did some things on progression with the way that they have gone from practice 1. I keep saying practice 1 to practice 5 is exciting for me to see. And then defensively, had some guys that hadn't played a lot of snaps live competition-wise that stepped up, and there's going to be some competition at a lot of places, so that's good. That's healthy.
Will there be an opportunity, or do you foresee trying to fill the scholarships with Chase and
we're always, and I've said it a couple times, we're always going to be recruiting, and that doesn't ever stop. Yes, we're recruiting for next year and 2 years down the road, but we're recruiting for September 3rd also. So yeah, we're going to keep being very aggressive with that.
Fair to say offensive line might be a target?
Pete's up next, so we're going to get, yes, that would be a pretty fair assessment.
I heard you mention a couple weeks ago with Mike Kelly that if health allowed, you wanted to do some things with the spring game. Can you kind of expand?
Yeah, I would like to line up and play as close to a game as you could play. Obviously, I don't want to do a lot of kicking, but we need to get some work in. There's some guys that haven't played with the lights on that I want to see them in. Scrimmage, yes, but I want to see them in an arena with people in the stands and the lights on. So I would love to do that. A lot of it depends on how Scantlebury does here, progressing with O-line. So we'll see where that goes.
This will be the last time we can talk to you before spring break. So kind of what's going to be your message for your team going into the week off?
That this addressed it a little bit. we have an unbelievable opportunity to write our script and to do exactly what we want to do with this program. We have an unbelievable opportunity to a person to get as good as we can get. We're about at the midway point of spring practice, and that's when things start to work themselves out a little bit positionally. But there's also so much competition across the board that, when we come back from spring break, that the opportunity for those guys to compete, 7 more times or 6 more times in practice situations and get better on both sides of the ball, and then in kicking, it's awesome. It's as good as it gets. So, we can go work, which we're doing, and there's not wins and losses tied to it, and it's one of the funnest times of the year because you can be a teacher and you can spend a little extra time in the classroom teaching our guys, and that's pretty exciting.
I know you guys had talked about Anthony had a pretty good season last year, but needing to step up to another level, not only as a player but as a leader in that secondary. What have you seen from him early in spring, and is he
He's
doing what you
making
want?
steps in the right direction. Yeah, and there's experience for him is helping. He's got to do it every day. He's so gifted, just athletically, so gifted that he can get away with some things with his key reads not exactly right. So he has a focus on trying to get that done every time, every snap, having his eyes in the right spot, and then fundamentally making sure that he goes through his progression. And if he does that, he's got a chance to be a great player.
I know you weren't here 2 years ago, but losing a guy like Braylon, who was a 3-year starter, and then losing a guy like Ian, who was a 3-year starter on the back end, how tough can that be to
As long as you have guys step up, you lose experience. Those are snaps you don't get back. But if you lose those guys, somebody else has got to step up and take that void. The communication and the leadership part of it is more than anything on the back end. When you've got one guy playing one coverage and one maybe another because you're not communicating, then that results in big plays. So that is obviously hugely important for us defensively to make sure we over communicate, and somebody needs to step up, and which they are. They need to take ownership like a quarterback would on the other side of the ball.
I don't think I saw Harold out here today.
No, Harold Brantley was not out here today. We, as said a couple of times, he's got a lot of work to do academically, and he was working on some academic projects that he's got to get finished up.
You brought in a bunch of coaches who obviously have ties to Oklahoma's program. What about that kind of common denominator is important for you?
Some of
What does that say
those,
about OU?
some of those guys have some overlap that they did work together there. There's a background with either some of them a player, some of them a coach. I thought it was important as we built the staff to make sure that, number one, we got some like-minded people in certain spots, and I've been excited about the way that they've shared ideas, not just strictly from that place, but from all the experiences. Finley was at Baylor and he played at Oklahoma, and Heupel was at Utah State. So I tried to get as much information about each program as I could on what they liked and what they thought we could do here to maybe give us, an advantage in some things. And that's been healthy for me. Just I really want to go and be able to collaborate and get ideas from other folks because you may find something that can help your current program out. So I've benefited from it greatly.